day of history and hope.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuhu. Welcome to Open Forum from our MTA International Studios in Bat Rahman. Today, we're going to talk about the platform Al-Islam or alislam.org online. Al-Islam is an amazing platform that has hundreds and thousands of users where you can search the Quran, where you can listen to Friday sermons, recent and of the past, and much, much more. I have four great guests with me here today. First in the studio is Dr. Naseem Rahmatullah, who is in charge of Al-Islam. Welcome to the show.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam. And then we have Masood Nasser, who's a managing director in Toronto, Canada. Welcome, Masood bhai.
Jazakallah, thank you for having me.
Then we have Salman Sajid, who is a director in Virginia, USA. Welcome to the show, Salman Saab.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Happy to be here.
Great. And we have Qamar Sulaiman Saab, who is a director in Canada as well. Qamar Saab, welcome to the show.
Jazakallah, thank you for having me.
Great. Dr. Saab, let's start with you. Why was Al-Islam formed? What was the purpose and what was the missing in everything that was going on?
The primary purpose was to create a connection with Khalifat al-Masih, and the secondary was digitization of Jama'at literature and content. Originally, it started with Amir Saab, Ahmad Saab's idea that we should have some form of connection with Khalifat al-Masih and some form of platform where we have Jama'at content available. And although it was in the nascent stage at that time, but as I said earlier, we started off with streaming Khalifat al-Masih's Friday sermon, and then his question answers gradually came on, and then other Jama'at content came on. Now, what would happen is that we would get permission from Khalifat al-Masih to put on contents because security was a prime importance at that time also.
So you mean security as if the site was hacked?
Site was hacked or the content could be hacked and changed online.
Interesting, okay.
So that was a big concern. So Khalifatul Masih Rabi Rahmullah Ta'ala would give us permission stage by stage. So as we progressed, I had to ask for more permission to add this, to add that. And that led to what would I call was a blessing of God, because Amir Saab then encouraged me to visit Khalifatul Masih every 6 weeks in London and get more permission.
This is in the late 90s, I would assume.
That's correct. So that gave me an opportunity to visit Khalifatul Masih more and get more and more permission. And then with the turn of the century and the inception of the new Khilafat in 2003, then we made progress much faster because the technology had increased and because the need and demand had increased. So we have various platforms now. So Al-Islam is not really a website now. Yeah. It's a platform. We have various apps, we have podcasts, and we have audio-video content.
Great. Let's transition a little bit to the main site. Masood Saab, can you share a little bit about what the site looks like, what's available? I mean, is it just English? I mean, we have viewers on MTA around the world. We have a lot of Urdu primary speaking viewers as well. Could you show us the site a little bit?
Right. So our primary website is, of course, in English, and we have an Urdu site as well on the same website. But we do have other websites managed by either a central desk of that language. So I can share my screen and show how we can view these websites. So this is the main homepage, which is in English, of course. But from here, we can go to Urdu website as well as Arabic, and then the international section dropped on appears, which can lead us to other different languages as well.
That's great. So, Dr. Saab, the Quran, maybe I'm old school, but I'm used to reading the Quran, printed version. I can highlight certain verses. I can go back to them. I can annotate them. for some reason, it feels easier to search on there. Every time I go to a website, it's like starting from scratch again. To even where do I start? Where if I left off? If I want to continue, how do you solve that challenge on a website?
Well, you can you have various features on the website and the app that you can now use. You can bookmark, you can search, you can go back to where you left off. You have audio, you can want to listen, and then if you leave off at one page and then go back a few minutes later, you end up at the same page again. So these features, if you go to the Holy Quran page, you would notice all this, and I'm sure Masood can.
Yeah, so let's take a look at that. Masood Saab, can we take a look at the Holy Quran section and see if what Dr. Saab is saying, how does it come about?
Right. So this is the Holy Quran page, which is available from navigation. You can click on the Holy Quran, and you will land on the Holy Quran page, where you can read, search, listen to Holy Quran, and there are multiple translations available here. In fact, there are 48 languages are supported. So if you want to download, you can actually download
So when you
it
say
on your
48
device.
languages, there's 48 languages the Quran is translated in?
Right. So
Wow.
Arabic, of course, is the original, and then there are 47 additional languages which are available. So starting with download, you can download it and read it offline. Or if you do not want to download, you can just come in here, start browsing. You can go to any of the translations. It will just open up as like a book. You can go to any chapter. And then there are various features here. It just acts like a book. You can go to the next page, previous page. You can go to a particular verse. And in fact, you can add more translations. So if you are, for example, cross-referencing one translation to another, if you're reading English translation, you want to read Urdu commentary, you can select from the drop-down here on the side and add, for example, Tafsir Kabir Arabic or Urdu Tafsir, and then
So you can mix and match? That's fascinating.
Right.
And so the other question I have is sometimes I just want to read the Arabic, for instance, for kids and whatnot, so the font is bigger. Other times I want to be able to see the short commentary. Do you have various versions available as well?
Right. So if for example, this is the book format, right? So there's and then the third option, which is Quran Reader. So this is where you can adjust your font size. You can see the translation side by side. So this we call the Browse, Listen, and Search Holy Quran Read app. You can actually browse it. You can listen to the Quran tilawat, and you can search here as well.
So if I'm driving, I can just have this on and have listen to it as well and do various other forms of interaction.
Absolutely. So if you want to listen to it, you can come to any chapter or verse, and actually it doesn't have to start right from there. Say if you are on chapter 10, any verse, verse 10, you can start your recitation right from there. So you can continue there, and it will one by one play the verses.
Okay, that's great. Qamar Sulaiman Saab, now Dr. Saab was mentioning also that there's not only I can go to Al Islam, the site, Al Islam being a platform, there's an app version of this as well. So if I'm on my phone or other ways as well.
Yeah, so for Al Islam, you have a website, but also we have built over the years, we have built several applications. And one of the key applications that we have is, of course, the Holy Quran app. So the first one is, of course, you can read the Holy Quran. The second one is you can listen to the Holy Quran. And the third one, you can search in the Holy Quran. And it provides very intuitive, very easy to use interface that you can actually just continuously scroll and read Holy Quran as you go. And if you were mentioning the font, it even allows you to increase the font size so that for like better readability, you can change it to your needs.
You're talking my language. My eyesight is declining fast.
So, so you can actually go to a particular chapter if you want to. If you want to go read a particular chapter and go to a particular verse, it allows you to go there. And as you guys were mentioning earlier on, the app remembers where you left off. So if you're reading Holy Quran and you're at a certain place and then you close the app, next day you open it, it will remember where you were. It will open that particular verse that you were reading the day before.
So one of the challenges that I believe I'd like to solve for myself is I'd like to be able to search certain things on an app to be able to find certain verses, for instance, references to different things. Can you show us how you search, for instance, the Prophet Jonah? Can you show us how you would search for that in English?
Okay, so we have this magnifying glass on top right corner of the app. And when I click on it, it gives me a search bar. And the great thing about this app is that it would start to search as soon as I type the word. I was typing the characters and the search results have started to appear. So now when I search for the word Jonah, it has given me all the verses that contains the word Jonah.
That's amazing that you can see Hazrat Jonah and kind of search and do a research paper or look up all the verses that that have that. Tell us more about the site. I mean, can you also search in Arabic?
Yes. So if you have an Arabic keyboard, and usually most of the mobile devices they have an Arabic keyboard, you can get it installed. You can search in Arabic characters as well. But what's even more interesting is that you can search in transliteration. So if I search for the word Qamar, Qamar is written in English letters, but it will also give me Arabic search for the word Qamar. It will give me those verses as well.
Amazing.
So I can search in transliteration as well.
So transliteration is where you write an Arabic word with English letters?
Correct.
I
see. I can write Masroor, and it gives me these two verses that contains the word Masroor, and the word is in Arabic, actually.
Now, how do I get to this app?
So we have several apps on the App Store and on the Google Play Store. So the way you get to all of our apps is you go to the App Store, you type the word Ahmadiyya, and you would get all the apps that are under the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community account.
Great, that's amazing. So Dr. Abdul, let's come back to some of my other challenges, and I'll solve those for myself. One of the issues that I have is I don't enjoy reading online. I mean, if I want to read a book, if I want to reread Philosophy of Teachings of Islam, I usually wouldn't go to a website. I have my printed copy. It's laid out as a book. I can flip through it. I can go to the page. I recall the page. I can highlight that page. I can do all those things that I've been doing for my entire life. Do you have a solution for me that can not make me go to the website?
So technology has made us lazy. So we have tried to catch up with that, and we have ebooks.
Really? Okay.
So we have audio books, podcasts. So whatever your heart desires, you can go to that platform, and you can access the books.
So let me ask Masood to show us the books online. I'd love to see Philosophy of Teachings of Islam, or show us the section where the books are.
Right. So I can again share my screen and show you how to reach the books. Right. So from the homepage or any page that you're on, you can click on library and then books, and that will take you directly to the books page. Right. So on the English section, we have about 300 books.
Wow.
And on the Urdu side, we have over 1,000 books actually.
Wow. And these are formatted in a form of a book that I can read as if I was reading a book?
Right. So as I browse through the website, I've clicked the name of the Promised Messiah, and now I'm looking at the books written by him. So say, for example, I want to read the philosophy of the teachings of Islam.
Sure.
So when I click it, I land on the page, which is a dedicated page for this particular book. I can read a brief description. I can see all the different formats that is available. So there is a book browser. If you don't want to download the book, you can just click here and the book will open page by page. You can go to any page. You can look at the content.
This is fascinating, Masood. What about leveling up a little bit? Can we see books about the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Right. So if you're on the books and you're looking for a particular topic, you can just search here, Holy Prophet. And the books that are tagged with this topic, they will start to appear here in the search results. So we have selected hadiths, we have books on the Sirat, the life of Holy Prophet. And once we find our book, we can click on it, and this will again take us to the same page. And not only that, you can see related books or other books in the series. So this book is volume 1, but you can also see volume 2, volume 3, and then related books as well about Holy Prophet. So a sample of books will appear.
That's amazing. Dr. Saab, this is an amazing platform. You've got 1,000 Urdu books, over 300 English books. You've got many other things. What I struggle with is with so much content, I go to the home page, I sometimes get overwhelmed where to start my religious journey in educating myself, increasing my spirituality. I would almost go as far as to say sometimes it's hard to find things because I don't know how to search for it, I don't know how to find it. Are you doing anything about that? I know that's not a big problem, but
that's a continuous problem because Al-Islam has grown so much and such a fast pace, and it's really become a reference library. But we are continually working on, based on feedback we get, to improve the functionality so it makes it user-friendly. And for example, we just redesigned the Friday sermon page.
Really? Okay.
So that it functions better and people can access the Friday sermons and different formats of the Friday sermon very easy.
Salman Sajid Saab, you're the Director of Design and Graphics for Al-Islam. I'd love for you to show us this newly designed Friday sermon section now. There's 4,500 Friday sermons on here. Can you walk us through it and talk to it a little bit?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So, as most people know, the Friday sermon, the most recent Friday sermon can always be found through the main banner, but there's also an additional section here, Recent Friday Sermon. If we click on that, we're taken to exactly the most recent Friday sermon that we have published. So in general, the most recent Friday sermon will have a summary, but other features such as full text won't be available yet. If we wanted to see that, we'd have to go to a previous sermon.
So when you said not available yet, it'll be available in a few weeks. Is that what you're saying?
In a few weeks. I believe it takes a few weeks for it to get uploaded and published. So we can go back by clicking the arrow buttons and to a previous sermon. Another way to do it is to also click on the date itself. Here,
wow, this seems like very easy to use.
Yeah, one of the biggest things you'll see is that before we didn't have an ability to know which date matched with which topic. So we would click back and forward and not knowing, okay, what was that one Friday sermon that I remember? What was the title of it? But here we have the date paired with the title. So it's very easy to say, oh yes, this is the one I wanted. And boom, you quickly jump directly there. And here, I believe the full text is available. Yes.
So what if I want to search the Friday sermon by topics? For instance, Waqf-e-Jadid. When Hazur has spoken on Waqf-e-Jadid, or is there a way to search that by topic?
Yes, there is. So at the very bottom of the search of the Friday sermon page, you'll notice that there's a search box. So for example, if we type in Waqf, right?
Yes.
All the Friday sermons where Waqf is mentioned show up, and we can just click on any one of them to go directly to
this
it.
This is so easy to use. I mean, this is amazing.
It's much simplified now, so it works much better. Yeah. And you got many translations of the sermons also added to it.
And so I can read the summary. I mean, as you know, during the pandemic, a lot of individuals are doing Friday sermons at home. So you can just go here and get the content, read it, listen to it, find topics for your own research as well.
The summary is available within a couple of hours after it's delivered.
Oh, that's amazing. So Dr. Saab, tell us a little bit about how far back. I mean, for Khalifa Khamis or current Hazur, it's great. But what if I want to do some research for the third Khalifa or even the second Khalifa? I mean, you gave hundreds of sermons. Can I go even that far back?
Yes, you can, because as I said earlier, the sermons are available since 1899. Khalifatul Masih, the first Razillah Ta'ala Anhu, the sermons that he gave, and those obviously are available in text format.
All right.
So those are in text format and they are available from then onwards.
That's great. And so Salman Saab, can you share a little bit about the site and in terms of the Friday sermons?
Absolutely. So one way we can access the sermons is through a podcast. So again, at the links at the bottom, you'll find that there's a related resources, Friday Sermon podcast. If you click on that, you will see that there's various links that link to the sermons in the iTunes, Spotify, or even on the Google platforms.
The homepage seems like it's very well organized. Now that I look back at it, it's not very confusing. You've got Islamic content, Jama'at content. You've got a nice little toolbar that Masood Bhai showed us. What were the design elements that went behind making it so easy to use?
Because the Al-Islam homepage was designed to serve a variety of audiences, to serve our own community, of course, but also serve those who maybe are non-Muslims interested in Ahmadiyyat. So that's why we've divided it into a few main sections. The section on the right is mainly for Ahmadi Muslims to see This Week with Hazur or to watch MTA, things they're very familiar with. Whereas Ghair Ahmadis may be focused on this section, like who is the Ahmadiyya Muslim community? And non-Muslims may want to start with Islam.
This is amazing. Thank you, Salman Saab. It's fascinating. I mean, I had a lot of questions, and you seem to have answered them. It is easy to use. There is a lot of great content. Dr. Saab, this is something that has opened my eyes to where I can go for reference. It's a platform, like you said. It's not just a website. You have content not only on the website. As they were sharing, you have podcasts, you have ebooks, you can search the Holy Quran. How does this happen? Is this a team of 3 people? Do you have 400 engineers sitting where and doing this? How does this come about?
Yeah, it's really a miracle of God and the blessings of Khilafat, because over 90% of the people working for Al-Islam are volunteers.
Wow.
So we only have one full-time person who has dedicated his life to work for Al-Islam. And we have a few missionaries who do part-time work for Al-Islam. And we have scores of women who work in the background and do an amazing job. We have people in USA, Canada, UK, Europe, Australia, Pakistan, India. So we got a lot of people, but the core team resides in UK, USA, and Canada. These are the people that you have on the panel, and a few others. These are the core people.
So if I want to join and help, and I've got a great idea that there's certain content you should have on here, what do I do? Because I've got a million ideas.
Yes, info@alislam.org.
Info@alislam.org.
So, but I would welcome anybody who can offer his services and who thinks he can make a contribution. Come join us.
Okay.
We need people all the time and we are looking for talented people to work with us and get the blessings of God and the blessings of Khilafat that contribute to so much success now. As you said, I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I had no idea what this is about, but somebody chose me to lead this team, and I'm here since 1995.
Well,
and I got these amazing people behind me.
Well, you've done an amazing job. Yeah. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for your team being on the show. I certainly learned a lot. So we learned about Al-Islam, a great platform, not only a website, but podcasts, apps, and other things that allows us to do many things in much, much easier and real-time manner. What is the take-home message in all this? I think we're learning about the teachings of Islam in a much easier way. We're developing a love of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam by accessing the Quran app and other things. And we're seeking the pleasure of Allah by doing that and invoking blessings on the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I hope you visit the site. I hope you're able to connect and use all these tools to truly seek the pleasure of Allah in your daily lives. Thank you for being on Open Forum.